In the origin of metazoans, we will be discussing about the invertebrate body and skeletal plants. Invertebrates are the organisms which do not have a vertebral column. And what is the skeletal plant? That means that how their body is made. What is their structure? How is their skeleton is made? How do they support their body? That is called skeletal plant. So body plans are usually defined by the number and type of enveloping walls of tissue together with the presence or absence of a coelom. Coelom is a body cavity. So in the invertebrates, the first metazoans were the multicellular with the one main cell type, and the peripheral collar cells are choanocytes with the whip or flagellum. So the first metazoans, which were the multicellular, they had two types of cells only. They had not very much variety of differentiated cells, and these variety of different cells only limited to the two cells. One cells were the original body cell type, which were doing the main functions. The other were the peripheral collar cells or choanocytes. So these collar cells contained a specialized structure, which was the flagellum or whip, right? So it might have its own characteristics or the functions. In the today's sponges, this structure is responsible for the food delivery or the maintenance of the currents of the water through the structure of the sponges. So the first symmetry or the body plan, which is found in the earliest form of the body plan was found, which is called Parazoan body plan, right? So it is seen in the sponges, and it is characterized by the cells organized in the two layers separated by jelly-like material, punctuated by so-called wandering or amoebocytes. So wandering cells, that means they are going from one place to another, and then they are amoebocytes, that means they can move. And there are two layers, and in between there is a gelatinous material, and this is called Parazoan body plan. The outer layer or inner layer or sandwich-like structure in which in between there is a gelatinous material containing the amoebocytes. The next body plan is the Diploblastic body plan, and it is present in the Cnidarian or Ctenophorans. It is containing an outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and two layers are separated by the acellular mesoglea. So acellular means it is not containing any cell, and mesoglea, meso means the between. So glea means the material which is, gluing these two layers together. Then there comes the triploblastic body plan, triplo, three, right? So triploblast, that means the three blastoform layers are present, and these are making a triploblastic body plan. So it is seen in most other animals, and it has three layers of tissues. From outside to in, these are ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. We, human, are also triploblastic, having the triploblastic body plan. That means our skin or the nervous system that is made up from the ectoderm. Mesoderm makes the organs which are present in the mediastinum, and the endoderm is making the internal organs, just like the digestive tract. So these three layers are originating the different organs in the body. And then there comes the symmetries, right? So there is one symmetry which is called radial symmetry. In the radial symmetry, you cut the body in any plane that you want, and the organism will be the same. Both the cut parts will be the same. In the bilateral symmetry, you can cut the body only in two parts, just like a human. If you cut a human in two parts, only one plane will be such that you can cut exactly in that plane, and then you will say that it is a bilateral symmetry. So the organisms which are containing the bilateral symmetry are called bilaterians, and the development of the coelom or the body cavity characterize the most of the animal groups found as fossils. So there was the formation of coelom or the body cavity. So what was the coelom used for in the earlier times? It was used for the hydrostatic skeleton. It contained the fluid, and it was helping the organism to move. But today we have the coelom to for the other functions. It is containing our organs. And then there is skeleton. Skeleton is integral part of the body plan of an animal, and it provides support, protection, and attachment for the muscles. Skeleton gives support to the body, as well as it gives origin and insertion of the muscles. So that's why we call them the skeleton. That's why we call the muscles as the skeletal muscles, because they are attached to the skeleton. There are some organisms which are containing the hydraulic skeleton. Many animals, such as the soft-bodied mollusks, such as slugs, possess a hydraulic skeleton in which movement of fluid provides support. So their body is having intense pressure of the fluid inside them, and that helps them move. There are the rigid skeleton as well, which are mineralized material, which are made up of mineralized material. It may be external or it may be internal. So external is called exoskeleton in case of most invertebrates, or it may be internal in case of few mollusks. Then how does the skeleton growth take place? The growth is accommodated in a number of ways, right? So most invertebrate skeleton grow by addition of new material, a process termed as accretion. So the organism which do not have a vertebral column, how do they increase their length of the skeleton? For example, if we are talking about snail, right? So you have seen the rings of the snail. So the snail is adding the material at the end of the ring, and the ring will rotate and it will increase in the size, right? It is called accretion, right? So that means it is accretion means increase by time, right? So just increasing from time to time. It is not that the snail is shedding its skeleton, growing new or bigger one. That is called accretion. And the other one is, which is present in the arthropod, it is the growth by the periodic burst between the intervals of ecdysis or molting. So the insects have the exoskeleton, which is made up of chitin. So what do they do? That exoskeleton is having a limited size. When the organism grows, the organism makes some skeleton inside the outer skeleton and then wiggles out of it, right? So it comes out of it, and that is called ecdysis or molting. So this was about the skeletal characteristics and how the metazoans were originated in the earliest life forms.